Welcome back after President's Day weekend here in New York City from the CNET studios. It's episode 182 of the 359 podcast with Alfred Eng and Ben Fox Rubin. Good morning, guys. How was your weekend?
Pretty good, but I missed our great audience here.
Yeah, I was so happy to come back and see everybody.
That sounded so insincere, it kind of hurt a little bit.
What?
We love our viewers.
We love all the viewers, and we hope you also had a great President's Day weekend. Unless you were overseas, you had some other long weekend of which we've never heard of.
Yeah, because they don't have presidents anywhere else.
Well, do they have President's Day?
They don't have President's Day for sure, but
no.
There's presidents elsewhere.
So because it was a long weekend, we've actually got a couple different things we want to get through on the show today. I wrote this morning about UPS doing a first-of-its-kind delivery drone test, so we'll delve into that. We have some video of it, which looks pretty cool. Also, there's some more bad news about Uber, Verizon, Yahoo. Alfred, you wrote about that. And we'll end with the New York Toy Fair, which Alfred was at over the weekend. So there's like a lot to get through on the show.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to any other news because I was at Toy Fair. Zipping around on electric skateboards and looking at Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
That's pretty sweet.
Which are back, by the way.
Everything's back. They don't invent anything new anymore. They just bring it back, like Teddy Ruxpin, which, by the way, was also at the show. So let's get to the podcast. As always, send in your questions and comments. Brian will get to the best ones at the end of the podcast itself. And send in whatever questions and comments you want. Obviously, on-topic stuff, we usually like more. But if you want to ask about Samsung or Apple stuff, go ahead. And let's make it. Let's make this podcast thing go.
Buckle up, everybody. We're going to make podcast magic happen. Hang out for 3 minutes and 59 seconds, and then we'll open the chat up and hang out with you from 3, 2...
Welcome to the 359, where we talk about the top tech news of the day, plus whatever crap we want to throw in. I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
I'm Alfred Eng.
UPS completed a first-of-its-kind test for the company using a drone integrated into the roof of a delivery truck to make a drop-off. The shipping giant said these drones could save gas and time by helping drivers cut down on stops. Alfred, how excited are you about delivery drones?
This looks like one of the coolest things I've seen. All the other delivery drones that I've seen have been like, it's just the drones on their own and they're flying off, and that it's kind of creepy to me.
It's cool though.
But this one is kind of cool because it's like working in unison with the delivery man.
Right.
So there's still a human touch to it. When I saw the video, it kind of reminded me of if you've ever played Legend of Zelda with when the fairy like goes around, when
We're
Navi,
such nerds here.
When Navi flies around and like picks up stuff and gives it to Link. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought of.
Oh, totally. Yeah, so it's integrated into the roof. One of the things that I thought was also interesting was that there's so much talk about automated cars, automated drones, destabilizing the workforce, taking people out of jobs. UPS told me that this is something that would not cause people to lose their jobs because the drone would work in unison with the driver and the truck, which is also something pretty cool. And so you can see it just kind of flies out and it comes back and, you can do the deliveries.
It's like having two delivery people now on the same route.
Exactly.
Now, my only concern is if nobody if nobody answers the door or anything like that and it's a package, where does the UPS drone hide it now? Because it can't put it under your carpet or anything like that.
So this was just the test at this point. I think it just did the drop-off and came back. But those types of logistics are the types of things that there's a lot of that kind of thing to work out.
We dropped it on your roof. Go get it.
Right. You need to get your personal drone to go get that delivery. Next up, Uber hired former U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder to investigate allegations of sexual harassment at the company. The move is in response to a blog post from a former Uber engineer who said she and other women repeatedly complained to HR about problems but were essentially brushed off. This is really interesting because this comes already. Uber was struggling with this boycott related to the travel ban. How bad is this for the company? And do you think this response is enough to kind of quell concerns about what's going on there?
Well, from what I've seen on social media, this is already one of the top trends on Facebook. A lot of people already tend not to trust Eric Holder. Mm-hmm. He's had a lot of pull being the former U.S. Attorney General, but for some reason, the tech world loves this guy. Airbnb hired him also last year to help develop its anti-discrimination policies and look into those issues for them. So it's kind of following the same trend here for Uber. And he seemed to have done the trick for Airbnb, so he might be able to pull it off again for Uber. But yeah, this is not a good look for the ride-hailing company.
Yeah. Also, more news today. Verizon agreed to cut the acquisition deal for Yahoo by $350 million. Alfred, you wrote about this today. Can you give us like a quick, in a nutshell, what happened here?
So basically, after the two massive hacks where Yahoo seemed to outdo itself, 500 million in September, then 1 billion announced in December, Verizon kind of backed off a little bit on its $4.8 billion deal. So it was announced today that they would be cutting that deal by about $350 million. Also, any time if Verizon is sued for this, people saying, we want to sue you over our hacked accounts and things like that, Yahoo has to foot 50% of that bill. But Verizon and Yahoo have agreed to handle half of any, not half, but handle together any regulatory or government issues that comes with the hacks.
Yeah, and the good news for Yahoo is it looks like the purchase is actually going to happen now, so they aren't going to be left out in the cold. If you want to read more about these stories, check us out on CNET. I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
I'm Alfred Ng.
Thanks for listening.
And welcome back. We had to skip Toy Fair.
Yeah, but we have Toy Fair now for our beloved
Our
viewers.
loyal audience.
We might even try to do Toy Fair tomorrow if we want, because Toy Fair was actually pretty interesting. One thing that was pretty cool was Teddy Ruxpin. Alfred, you weren't that excited about Teddy Ruxpin.
Teddy Ruxpin was really cool. I don't get it. It's a bear.
Because you didn't grow up with it.
Yeah.
I grew up with Teddy Ruxpin.
I didn't actually even have a Teddy Ruxpin, but I remember the Teddy Ruxpin commercials, and I'm pretty psyched to have him back. He's got LCD screen eyes, little touch sensors in his paws. He's $100, so I don't think that I'm gonna buy him.
Why is a teddy bear $100?
Exactly?
Because he talks to you and he tells you stories and he's interactive.
And one of the things that I like about it is that they didn't really screw with Teddy Ruxpin all that much. I think the voice is even the same from the 1980s.
I talked to Bridget about this. It's the exact same voice clips.
And it's the same stories.
And the same stories, but it's all digitized now. So it works through, of course, your phone, through the app.
Right.
Like I said, I grew up on Teddy Ruxpin. I thought this was really kind of cool. If I had kids, this is exactly what I would do for them, because it's what got me kind of into like audiobooks and radio and just kind of fascinated by storytelling kind of stuff.
My God, you just sold me on buying this stupid thing. All right, I'm fine. I'll get it.
I think it's a little more fun and a better gateway for kids than just handing them the iPad and saying, learn to read.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot more creativity when you have a toy that you can interact with, as opposed to like a kid's tablet or anything like that.
So for this 3:59 After Dark, the post show, Alfred, what was it like being at Toy Fair?
It's super fun. I love toys. Like it's like I'm still one of those people that had like just like the chest like just filled with toys in there. Mm-hmm. I go to thrift shops and just buy toys for no reason that like my girlfriend's not that happy about. But yeah, it was like being at Toy Fair was awesome. I saw these like collectibles that like they had like, how like there's like those like Power Ranger mecha toys and stuff. Mm-hmm. They had one for like Toy Story for some reason where like Buzz Lightyear turned into like a mech, and then Woody had his own mech too, and you could combine them into like.
That's pretty sweet.
Q, you've got a friend in me. They
combine into a super powerful force.
I'm desperately trying to find this on the page, and we have so much stuff.
I know.
So much Toy Fair
hundreds and hundreds of photos and videos that I'm not trying to do this as like some shameless self-promotion for the company. I literally can't find what you're talking about because I'm siphoning through everything to try to show.
Were you there, by the way, too, Brian?
No, I didn't get to go this year.
Then they had all these like Mega Man toys that I thought were awesome that like I couldn't get either. But coolest thing I saw there was probably either the Razor's like electric skateboard, just because I've been kind of interested in getting one, but it's always been like
it's kind of expensive.
It's pretty expensive for something that I'm like, because I already have a skateboard, so I'm like I can just kick. I don't like. Why would I pay like more than $200?
Come on, you're a tech reporter. Just splurge. Just buy things.
And then they had one of these drones that was like marketed as like indestructible, where basically it was like this challenge where it was this like big netted area, and then you shot like a tennis ball gun at it.
That's
and
awesome.
to knock it down, and then it would like fly right back up. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The little time that I've spent with drones, usually like one of the propellers will come off really easily
oops.
or it'll hit into
That's
something or whatever, especially like the micro drones. So that definitely sounds like it would have significant usefulness. So yeah, I definitely like that idea.
We got a question in the chat. Alex wants to know, do you think these toys can help kids stay off iPads? So out of curiosity, how much was like integrated into iPads and how much did you see was like completely free of the tablet or mobile phone
Or like
interactive?
screens in general. Yeah.
Well, they had like a whole section just for like kids tablets and
Of
kids
course.
apps and things like that. If anything, it would be the parents on the apps though. And as
Yeah.
far as like kids on devices goes, I don't know that much about iPads. I know a lot of kids are like using phones all the time. I don't think it like. I know when I was growing up, I like was on the screens like all the time. Like I had like a bunch of toys, but I still didn't like stay away from like video games or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I had a Game Boy when I was growing up.
Yeah, I don't think it'll keep them off.
No.
I don't think any kid's gonna choose like one of these toys over an iPhone or anything like to play games on.
But that's why I kind of like the idea of the Teddy Ruxpin come back and the usage of that because you've got something that it's driven by the iPad, but you're not using the iPad
Yeah.
necessarily.
Right, and it's still interactive, so the kid
Yeah.
can continue to use it. There was another one
It
where
talks
it was
to
like
ya.
a hologram Barbie, which was essentially a Barbie that was like a personal
I saw
assistant.
that.
I don't know how useful that would be to like get kids off of their iPads because it's mostly like you would query it like you would query Alexa for any specific things. I don't think you're generally having a conversation with it. Maybe you would, but
yeah, I mean, I think the reason, I mean, like all these toys are really cool and they're gonna like get kids away from like their phones or their tablets or anything like that. But that's like during playtime. There's so much like downtime for like apps. Because like think about like a kid just like sitting on the couch when they don't want to play with Teddy Ruxpin or anything anymore and they just want to look at their phone and like play.
zone out.
Yeah, and zone out. That's the majority of like screen time.
Yeah,
Of course.
So, yeah.
You're watching a show, you're watching Dora.
Yeah.
Is Dora still around? Is that still a thing?
Dora is still a thing. Very much so.
Yeah, you have to
course.
deal with that.
I don't know. My daughter's watching a lot of the Care Bears lately.
Whoa.
There was a Care Bears episode where the kid was on their phone all the time,
That
which was
holo-
actually pretty
That
interesting.
hologram Barbie totally reminds me of like Hatsune Miku.
Expand, please.
There's a in Japan, they have a Vocaloid program called Hatsune Miku where it's like you make all the music like in the program, but then it somebody made like a hologram of it where like it sings the songs and things like that.
Is Barbie dabbing?
Yes.
hope so.
Yeah.
Oh, come
Yeah,
on.
that always happens.
Dabby.
They're always trying to figure out how to make her more relevant and cooler and whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Dabbing Barbie.
You should expect Barbie to keep doing whatever it is that people think are cool.
Our old buddy Michael Brown in the chat, he says UPS drone, it's interesting, but probably won't see this fully in action until at least 2020.
Yeah.
He's probably right. It's still
He's
kind of cool to
definitely-
see.
Totally.
So wait, all I can
Michael
think
Brown,
of,
very, very correct.
incredibly astute as always, all I can think of as we were talking about this, you brought this up before the show started, and like, so this drone comes out of the truck and then carries out the bidding of the driver, and I swear to God, all I can think of is Soundwave from Transformers.
Totally.
With the cassette tapes popping out.
The cassette tapes turn into other things, right?
If they could only make the truck actually make the Transformers sound as the drone takes off, I'd be sold. I want all my stuff delivered by drone.
Be like you call the
Preferably
cops.
if they could redesign it to look like a pterodactyl while they're at it. I'm
You
down.
should just
I'm
slap
totally
a
in.
UPS logo on that.
Oh my God, that would be so phenomenal that every single time it made a delivery, it would go.
Yeah, I hope we see that by 2020.
Terminator P51 says Skynet is rising.
It is important to note actually that 2020
Relevant username.
you would expect delivery drones to potentially come by 2020, but they're probably going to be coming even later than that. There was a study out by Gartner recently that said that delivery drones were only going to be 1%, less than 1% of the commercial drone market by 2020. So 3 years from now, you should still expect to see very, very few delivery
Well,
drones.
is that
Sure.
only applying to the U.S. though? Because I can't imagine other countries have the same like restrictive, regulations on drones that like the U.S. has with the FAA.
That is a good question. You have now stumped me, and I have to go back and look at the report. I have to punt immediately.
I mean, it'd rather me stumping you than somebody in our like audience question.
Oh, that's okay. I get stumped by the audience all the time.
I think Mr. Oz is a little apprehensive about the whole drone thing. He sounds distrusting, as he may have had some less than stellar interactions with actual human delivery in the past.
I mean, wouldn't you be more trusting of drones in that case? Because they can't, like, there's less room for error with
Right?
them.
They can't make fun of you for being in your underwear at 12 o'clock.
But a good driver knows where to hide that package. And that's not a euphemism.
That's what he distrusts. Well, that's what I'm saying. A drone can just drop it off on your roof. Then you just get it there. Like no robbers are gonna make that effort
Why
unless
would
they
you
have
go to
All
your
smart
roof?
homes come enabled with a drop point, like a dumbwaiter on top of your house, so that the drone drops it there and then.
It also has to make the Transformers noise, though. That would be so phenomenal. But I do. It's cool to see all these different tests. We were talking back in December about Amazon doing this very, very small piloted study in England where it's in rural England, and they send out the drones from an actual factory or from a shipping area, and you drop off like some Cheetos and then come back. This is another area where you're actually bringing, the drone directly to people. So
Why Cheetos?
I don't know. I was hungry.
He's sponsored by Cheetos.
CNET bought and paid for by Cheetos.
That's what the C stands for.
Right, Cheetos Net. You didn't know that yet, but you do now.
I love working for this company even more now. I don't know. Anybody see anything else cool at Toy Fair this weekend? I don't know if anybody out there was there with us. I know you went, and Bridget went, and Mark went, and what else did we see? I was really jealous. I was watching all the Ninja Turtle stuff coming out.
This was also, there was like a larger BB-8 that was kind of cool.
Yes, like almost life size, kind of.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
yeah,
would
yeah.
a life-size
compared to
BB-8 already be like a soccer ball?
Yeah, this was pretty close to that. I think it was a little bit smaller. I was actually surprised that the price was only $230 because it was a rather large size BB-8, and the smaller one by Spiro was like 100 or plus.
I didn't get the same access that Bridget got to Mattel. Like they told me I needed to make an appointment with, to see Hologram Barbie or something like that. So
Poor guy.
I was blocked off from I got rejected by Hologram Barbie.
Oh, geez. I thought we had. I'm trying to look for that BB-8, and I don't think I can find it right off.
We have too much Toy Fair stuff.
We do. We have a lot of Toy Fair stuff. I haven't even gone through it yet myself because I was lazy this weekend. But yeah, I was super jealous.
Yeah, Toy Fair was awesome.
Cool. Do we have any other questions?
Just props out to Michael Hallett in the chat. Oh my God, or Ermagerd, Turtles in the Half Shell, Turtle Power. You're my hero, sir. I am a big man child, and I love my Ninja Turtles.
Definitely.
I've been playing Turtles in Time for the Super Nintendo over the last few days.
Good.
It's a great game.
It is one of the
Probably
best.
one of the best Super Nintendo games.
Absolutely. All right, that's probably a good time to shut it down because oh my God, this is Michael saying Ermagerd Cheetos, Ermagerd Toy Fair.
This is one of the nerdier podcasts we've done.
That's saying a lot, and it's spiraling downhill quickly.
All right, let's call it. Let's call it.
Thanks,
guys.
everybody.
All right, the 359 podcast is available on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, SoundCloud, FeedBurner, Google Play Music, and of course, CNET.com. Thanks everybody for watching, listening, sending in your questions. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Later.
Bye.